In the quaint village of Serendia, life meandered at a leisurely pace, punctuated by the symphony of rustling leaves, chirping birds, and the distant murmur of the river that snaked through the verdant fields. It was in this idyllic setting that Elias first saw her. Clad in a simple dress that fluttered with the wind, Aria was a vision of ethereal beauty as she stood by the riverbank, her dark hair cascading down her shoulders like a waterfall. Elias, a boy of 17 with a penchant for daydreaming, had always been drawn to the tranquility of the river. It was his escape from the mundane realities of village life and the harshness of his father's expectations. He often spent hours there, sketching the world around him, lost in the intricate dance of light and shadow. That day, as Elias sketched the river, he was struck by an unusual stillness. Looking up, he saw Aria for the first time. She was standing with her feet dipped in the cool water, eyes closed, as if communing with nature itself. Elias's heart skipped a beat, and in that moment, he knew his life had changed forever. Elias approached her cautiously, his sketchbook clutched tightly in his hands. "Hello," he said softly, trying not to startle her. Aria opened her eyes, and Elias was captivated by their depth, like pools reflecting the secrets of the universe. She smiled gently but did not speak. "I'm Elias," he continued, feeling an inexplicable need to fill the silence. "I come here to draw." Aria nodded, pointing to her ears and shaking her head, indicating that she could not hear. The revelation was like a punch to Elias's gut. How could someone so beautiful, so seemingly perfect, be burdened with such a heavy silence? Yet, her serenity and the peace she exuded were unlike anything Elias had ever known. Determined not to let this be a barrier, Elias decided to learn her language. Over the following weeks, Elias visited the riverbank daily. With each visit, he brought a new sign he had learned from an old book on sign language he found in the village library. Aria was patient, her eyes sparkling with amusement and gratitude as Elias fumbled through his attempts. Their bond grew stronger with each passing day. They communicated through gestures, drawings, and the unspoken understanding that transcends words. Aria taught Elias how to listen with his heart, to see the world through her eyes, and to appreciate the silence that held so much meaning. Aria lived with her grandmother, a kind old woman who welcomed Elias into their home with open arms. She saw the transformation in her granddaughter, whose laughter and joy had returned with Elias's companionship. The two spent their days exploring the village, making memories in places that had once seemed mundane. One afternoon, as they sat under the ancient oak tree near the river, Aria handed Elias a piece of paper. Her eyes were serious, and Elias felt a pang of worry as he unfolded it. The note, written in elegant script, read, *Elias, I need to tell you something. My heart is not well. The doctors say I don't have much time left. I've known for a while but didn't want to burden you. You've given me so much happiness. Thank you, *. Elias felt his world shatter. How could fate be so cruel? Aria, who had brought so much light into his life, was slipping away. Tears streamed down his face as he looked at her, his hands trembling. No, he signed desperately. There must be something we can do. Aria shook her head, tears glistening in her eyes. She reached out and gently wiped away Elias's tears, her touch a soothing balm to his aching heart. They held each other under the oak tree, their silent sobs merging with the whispering breeze. From that day forward, Elias vowed to make every moment count. He filled Aria's days with laughter, adventure, and love. They visited the village fairs, danced under the stars, and spent countless hours by the river, where their love had blossomed. Elias painted a portrait of Aria, capturing her essence in a way words never could. It was his gift to her, a token of their love that would endure beyond time. Aria cherished it, her fingers tracing the brushstrokes as if trying to memorize every detail. As the seasons changed, Aria's health declined. Elias stayed by her side, holding her hand through the pain, his heart breaking with each labored breath she took. He read to her from her favorite books, his voice a soothing lullaby in the quiet of the night. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the village, Aria's time came. She passed away in Elias's arms, her face serene, a soft smile playing on her lips. Elias felt as if a part of him had died with her, the pain so intense it threatened to consume him. Aria's funeral was a somber affair. The entire village mourned the loss of the girl who had touched so many lives with her kindness and grace. Elias stood by her grave, clutching the portrait he had painted, his heart heavy with grief. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Elias withdrew into himself, the world losing its color without Aria. He couldn't bring himself to visit the riverbank where they had shared so many precious moments. The once vibrant boy was now a shadow of his former self. But life has a way of healing even the deepest wounds. One day, as Elias sat by the window, staring blankly at the world outside, a memory of Aria's smile flashed before his eyes. He remembered her laughter, the warmth of her touch, and the joy they had shared. Aria wouldn't want him to live in despair. She had faced her fate with courage and grace, finding beauty in every moment. Elias realized that he needed to honor her memory by living his life to the fullest, just as she had taught him. Slowly, Elias began to emerge from his shell. He picked up his sketchbook and started drawing again. Each stroke of the pencil was a step towards healing, a way to keep Aria's spirit alive. He poured his grief and love into his art, creating masterpieces that captured the essence of their time together. Elias's work caught the attention of an art gallery in the nearby city. They offered to exhibit his paintings, and for the first time in months, Elias felt a glimmer of hope. He accepted the offer, knowing that this was his chance to share Aria's story with the world. The exhibition was a resounding success. People from all walks of life were moved by Elias's paintings, which told a tale of love, loss, and resilience. Through his art, Elias found a way to heal and inspire others, turning his pain into a beacon of hope. Elias's journey was far from over, but he knew that Aria would always be with him, her spirit woven into every canvas he touched. He dedicated his life to helping others find beauty in the face of adversity, just as Aria had done for him. Years later, as Elias stood by the riverbank, now an old man with silver hair, he felt a sense of peace. The river still sang its eternal song, and the memories of Aria danced in the breeze. He had lived a life full of love and purpose, carrying Aria's legacy forward. Elias's story was a testament to the power of love and the strength of the human spirit. Even in the face of unimaginable loss, he had found a way to rise above, to turn his sorrow into something beautiful. And in doing so, he had kept Aria's memory alive, forever etched in the hearts of those who had been touched by his art. And so, in the village of Serendia, where love had blossomed in silence, Elias's legacy lived on, a beacon of hope and inspiration for generations to come.